Hey there, good morning. I'm meteorologist Chita. We have an active severe thunderstorm warning. This is mainly for Wharton County, portions of Brazoria County, and then just the tip there of Fort Bend and Matagorda County. But it has been this thunderstorm. You can clearly see where all of the lightning is concentrated. Not only are we dealing with potentially up to an inch size in diameter of hail, really heavy rainfall rates. Notice the amount of lightning. I'm going to show you that here in a second, but it's nearly 1,000 lightning strikes in the past 10 minutes. But there is some indication that we could start to see some rotation. Now, I'm going to take you through on our radar. Again, the most concentrated thunderstorm is here in Wharton County, even though across the city, we're really starting to see the radar filling in. Let's talk about the hail, potentially up to an inch size in diameter of that hail size. That's mainly in Wharton County. This is going to be pushing into portions of Fort Bend County, the western fringe of this. But that is the type of thunderstorm activity. When you talk about even the severe potential of scale of 1 to 5, when you're under that hail, the potential of strong gusty winds, think 40 to maybe upwards of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, that's enough to do some damage. I'm going to zoom in. This is our rotation detector, and we're looking for the green and the red to touch into the radar side. And notice how that it looks close in nature, but I don't see a rotation as far as from the radar estimates. Now, we will have to see on ground level if anyone sees any debris or potentially any damage. But at this point, no official confirmation, but a tornado would be possible in a thunderstorm with this type of intensity. So right now in Wharton County, we do have an active severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect until 10:15 this morning. And notice where it's really concentrated. Again, mainly in Wharton County, but the warned area does extend into portions of Fort Bend County, Brazoria County, but again, most of that is for eastern Wharton County. Now, the big picture, I'll zoom in also into Harris County. You know, the west side of Harris County, you're starting to pick up some lightning strikes, not as severe. You're not under an active watch or a warning right now. So again, not as severe, but even across portions of western Harris County, notice how the lightning is starting to fill in across the radar. This was the line of thunderstorms that originated over I-35 from Austin, San Antonio, New Braunfels early this morning around 3, 4 o'clock. And then it continued to work its way west to east. And that is what is sparking the strong to severe thunderstorm happening right now. A big part of the area north of the city, I know you're still mostly dry, but this has really continued to fill on in across our western counties. So because we're on the stream, I'm actually going to dive back in and show you really just over the warned area. I've taken the lightning counter, so everywhere in this red box to give you an idea of how much lightning we have. And notice how it's almost 700 lightning strikes in the past 10 minutes. What's interesting is in comparison to just a few minutes ago, this has dropped, but now that number just started to tick up a little bit higher. This shows a really strong, intense thunderstorm capable of producing some damage. I mean, when you have enough lightning like this, heavy downpours, potential of hail, gusty winds between 40 to 60 miles per hour, it can do damage even without rotation. So if you are in Wharton County, and I'll zoom in even to street level, what I'll do is I'll take the warnings off to make this just a little bit easier to see some of the labels, and I can give you some better street ideas. Again, I'm going to take all of this off, keep that on. I'm going to zoom in closer into Wharton, Hungerford, close to Burr, Glen, Florida. Notice towards Egypt, McKay. These are all areas right along 59. These are all areas that you probably just noticed those heavy downpours. Notice a little bit of the purple indicating torrential, blinding rain across the area. These are by far the heaviest rainfall rates. I took the lightning off just because it takes up so much of the screen so you can better see some of these thunderstorms. Just south of Highway 90. Notice now it's just east of El Campo, but west of New Gulf. I'll put this back into motion for you so you can see the direction. Still moving west to east. Notice heads up from Needville into New Gulf. This is heading your direction. I'll put the lightning back on so you can get an indication again of how intense this thunderstorm is. And notice all of the lightning. I'll pause this. And this is where the strongest cell is right now. This is why the National Weather Service has issued that severe thunderstorm warning. It is for this thunderstorm right here pushing, and you can see that starting to push there into areas like Needville, and that's what's going to be moving here over about the next 15 minutes. As far as the rest of the city goes, that's really concentrated where there's going to be a severe threat. As I broaden out the scope from Wallace to Foster, closer into Katy, right now there's pockets of maybe some heavier rain from Alief into portions of Sugar Land. This has really continued to fill in over the past hour, but otherwise, really this is all driving southwest of the city. So right now, I'll take you back into our active severe thunderstorm warning. If you're just popping on the live stream right now, there's a look at it. So the severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 10:15 this morning. It is mainly for Wharton County, and it's this thunderstorm that has grown in intensity just west of New Gulf. This is going to be traveling west to east. As far as the potential of a spin up, that is a possibility. Today we do have that severe weather threat, especially for the morning hours. With the line of thunderstorms that moved out of Austin and San Antonio, this becomes a lot more isolated once we get into the afternoon and evening. I think most of this really starts to settle down. This should pass off over the next couple of hours. I'll get to our future track real quick so I can give you the latest run here. This morning, between about 11 to noon, even though it passed through the city, so here's a snapshot. There's about 11. At 11, notice how thunderstorms across the area still possible south of the city. Some of this, we'll have to watch even some of our rainfall rates. If we start picking up a quick 2-3 inches of rain in the next hour, then getting you to about 1 o'clock this afternoon, some of these thunderstorms start to break apart. But, if we see any training with these thunderstorms, that can produce some very heavy rain in a short period of time. That's when ponding or maybe even a quick high water spot would be a threat. Now, I'll get you into the afternoon. There's 2:30, 3 o'clock. This is when it really starts to break apart. So in your afternoon hours, 2:30, 3, 4 o'clock, you may get a little bit of a break. Clouds are still in place. I still think the atmosphere is going to be capable of producing a few more thunderstorms throughout your evening. That's 8:30 on our future track, and then getting you into about midnight. That's finally when we really start to settle down. Getting into early tomorrow morning, there's about a 20% chance maybe for isolated activity to continue, and then most of that pushes out for the weekend. It becomes a lot more isolated. I'll give you one last look here. Here's that severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect right now. The National Weather Service did issue this because of the winds and the hail. We were receiving reports of potentially up to an inch size hail in diameter. Notice wind speeds potentially gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Right there, that could do some damage. So if you are in Wharton County, all this lightning as well, I'll give you a brand new look here. Now, even though this thunderstorm is starting to spread apart, it is really continuing to hold on to its intensity areas just north of Wharton County. So this is now pushing in to Fort Bend County. Heads up if you're in Sugar Land, Missouri City, areas in Brazoria County as well. 288, I would give this about 30 to 40 minutes, and then this cell could come to you. Let me put a track on this so you can get an indication of where this is expected to go. Let's see here. All right, so I'm going to take it right in the center, drive it northwest, and let's get this. Needville, about 10:11. Notice Richmond, about 10:26. Sugar Land, 10:44. Missouri City, around 10:54. So you get the idea. This thunderstorm, it's going to continue to travel west to east, staying mainly areas, I think, south of I-10, generally speaking. But some of these thunderstorms are going to be capable pretty much area-wide. All right, I am going to continue to monitor this for you. Make sure you have our KHOU11 app. If we do pick up any warnings, of course, we will pass those right along to your phone so you can